This situation has unfolded in a way that no one could have expected. After years of standing by her husband Kirk through thick and thin, Rasheeda has sent shockwaves across the internet with an unexpected twist. She's been spotted with another man. This is a bombshell that has sent the fans into complete disbelief, and everyone is now left questioning whether this is the final straw that will end their long roller coaster relationship. Reports have started surfacing, with eyewitnesses claiming they saw Rasheeda getting cozy with the mystery man, and Kirk's reaction to the situation has been nothing short of explosive. For someone who has been involved in so many scandals over the years, Kirk's anger reached an all-time high after this revelation. Sources close to the couple have revealed that Kirk was blindsided by the news, and he did not take it well at all. His initial reaction was fueled by rage, and accusations were thrown, as well as heated words exchanged between the two. But could this be karma finally catching up to Kirk, or is there more to Rasheeda's secret rendezvous than we know? As the rumors spread like wildfire, fans were left wondering, has Rasheeda finally moved on? Is this the beginning of the end for Kirk and Rasheeda's relationship? And most importantly, who is this mystery man who has caused all of this drama? This story started with what seemed like just another ordinary day, but within hours, the internet was ablaze with shocking revelations. It all started small with a few unconfirmed reports, just some blurry images and cryptic social media posts. But soon, those whispers turned into deafening screams, as undeniable proof surfaced showing Rasheeda in the company of a man who looked very comfortable with her. In fact, it was clear that the chemistry between them was undeniable. Fans began analyzing the photos, the body language, and the way Rasheeda smiled at the mystery man. It painted a picture that Kirk was not prepared for, and it quickly escalated into full-blown scandal. The internet erupted into chaos. Some fans immediately jumped to Rasheeda's defense, arguing that after everything Kirk had put her through, she deserved to be happy. On the other hand, there were plenty of people who were furious with her, calling out her betrayal of the very man she had fought so hard to keep by her side. Then there were those who were just in complete disbelief, questioning if this was even real or just another rumor. What followed next proved that this was not just another baseless rumor. Kirk himself reacted, and his response sent shockwaves through the industry. Insiders close to the couple revealed that Kirk was completely blindsided by the news. He had no idea that Rasheeda had been seeing someone else, and when he found out, he absolutely lost it. Sources close to the situation claimed that Kirk stormed out of a business meeting the moment he received the news. His face turned red with rage, his fists clenched, and his temper was barely contained. He didn't even wait for confirmation. He went into full meltdown mode the second he saw those pictures. One insider even claimed, "I've never seen him this furious." Kirk's reaction didn't stop there. He immediately started calling anyone he could. Rasheeda, their mutual friends, anyone who might have answers. But Rasheeda didn't respond. In fact, sources claim she went completely silent, refusing to pick up Kirk's calls and ignoring his attempts to contact her. This silence only fueled Kirk's anger even more. His frustration was evident when he took to social media, posting a series of cryptic and angry status updates. One of his posts read, "Loyalty is dead," while another one said, "Karma always comes full circle." But the post that really set the internet on fire was the one that simply read, "Imagine giving someone your whole life just for them, to switch up within minutes." Fans went into a frenzy, tagging Rasheeda and demanding answers, all while speculating whether or not Kirk was talking about her. But Kirk wasn't done. His anger had not subsided, and he wanted answers. He wasn't content with just making passive-aggressive social media posts. He needed to confront Rasheeda face-to-face. So he made a decision. He would track her down. Sources revealed that Kirk got into his car and drove straight to one of Rasheeda's favorite spots, a high-end restaurant where she was rumored to be that night. When he arrived, what he saw only confirmed his worst fears. Rasheeda was sitting across from the mystery man. They were deep in conversation, completely unaware that Kirk was about to make his presence known in the most dramatic way possible. Without hesitation, Kirk stormed into the restaurant. The moment he walked in, all eyes turned toward him. People gasped, and phones went up as cameras started rolling. It was clear something major was about to go down. Rasheeda, who was caught completely off guard, looked up, but her expression was unreadable. Kirk, on the other hand, was seething with anger. He marched straight toward her and shouted across the room, "What the hell is this, Rasheeda?" The entire restaurant went silent, and all eyes were on the two of them. The mystery man shifted uncomfortably in his seat, clearly not expecting Kirk to show up. Rasheeda, however, remained eerily calm. She slowly placed her fork down and looked Kirk dead in the eyes. "Kirk, you need to calm down," she said in a steady, firm voice. But Kirk couldn't believe what he was hearing. "You want me to calm down?" He nearly laughed in disbelief. "You're out here with another man and you want me to calm down?" The tension in the room was suffocating. Everyone was waiting, watching to see how this confrontation would play out. The mystery man, now visibly uncomfortable, tried to defuse the situation. Look, man, I don't want any trouble, he started, but Kirk cut him off with a glare so sharp it could slice through steel. This ain't got nothing to do with you, Kirk snapped. This is between me and my wife. And that's when Rasheeda did something no one expected. She stood up slowly, pushed her chair back, and took a deep breath. Then she looked Kirk dead in the eyes and said, "Am I still your wife, Kirk?" Her voice was calm, but cutting. "Because from what I remember, you lost the right to claim me a long time ago." The entire restaurant gasped. It was as if the ground beneath everyone's feet had shifted. Kirk was momentarily stunned. He had stormed in expecting a confrontation, but instead, Rasheeda had completely flipped the script. She wasn't defensive or guilty. She was calm, composed, and completely unbothered. The mystery man, sensing that this was not his fight, stood, up to leave. But Rasheeda put a hand on his arm, silently telling him to stay out of it. This moment was hers. And then, Rasheeda delivered the final blow. "You want to know what this is, Kirk?" she asked, her voice laced with quiet strength. "This is me finally choosing myself. Something I should have done a long time ago." Kirk's jaw clenched. His breathing became heavier, but Rasheeda wasn't finished. "You think I'm the bad guy now?" she scoffed. "After everything you put me through?" And just like that, the tables had turned. Kirk was no longer the one demanding answers. He was the one struggling to find words. The energy in the restaurant had completely shifted. No one knew what would happen next, but it was clear that Rasheeda had already made up her mind. She wasn't interested in fighting for this relationship anymore. Without another word, Rasheeda reached into her purse, pulled out some cash, and dropped it onto the table in front of Kirk. "This is on me," she said with a small, knowing smile. Then, she turned on her heel, grabbed the mystery man's hand, and walked out of the restaurant without looking back. Kirk stood there, frozen. His world was crumbling, and he knew it. The whispers around him grew louder, and the cameras continued rolling. As the weight of the situation finally hit him, he realized that he had lost control. For the first time in his life, he wasn't the one calling the shots. Kirk's mind was racing, his entire reputation was falling apart before his eyes. And there was nothing he could do to stop it. The images of Rasheeda walking out with another man burned into his mind. He had come in expecting to confront her, but instead, he was left standing there, looking like a fool. And worst of all, Rasheeda had left with another man's hand in hers. But Kirk wasn't about to let this go. He needed to know who the mystery man was. He needed answers, and he needed them fast. He immediately made a call to one of his closest insiders, someone who always had the scoop on what was going on in their circle. "Tell me everything you know about this dude she's been with," Kirk demanded. After a brief hesitation, the insider spoke. "His name's Marcus. Some business dude. He's got money, influence, and from what I hear, he's been real good to Rasheeda." The words hit Kirk like a ton of bricks. "Real good to her?" he repeated, his voice dangerously low. "What the hell does that mean?" The insider hesitated again, but finally, he dropped the bombshell. "Look, man, I don't know how serious it is, but from what I've heard, they've been hanging out for a while. Not just once or twice, but a few times." Kirk felt like he had been punched in the gut. The thought of Rasheeda finding comfort in someone else, someone who treated her better than he ever did, made him seethe with anger. It made him desperate to get answers. The insider continued, "Rasheeda's different with him. Happier, less stressed, and from what I hear, she's been telling people she's finally seeing what it's like to be with a man who respects her." Those words stung more than anything else Kirk had heard. Respect? Like she hadn't had that with him? Like all the years they spent together meant nothing? The anger that had already been simmering inside him began to bubble over. Kirk was no longer just mad. He was desperate. He needed to talk to Rasheeda. He had to fix this. He couldn't let it end like this. But as he drove to their house, he knew that deep down, things might never be the same again. He arrived at their house, parked in the driveway, and saw her car outside. That was all he needed. She was home. He had to get answers. He wasn't going to let her walk away without a fight. When he walked through the door, he found her sitting on the couch, a glass of wine in her hand. She barely even looked up when he walked in. "Kirk," she said, her voice flat. "What are you doing here?" Kirk wasn't ready for this. "What am I doing here?" he repeated. "You just got caught out with another man and you think I'm not going to show up?" Rasheeda sighed, setting her glass down. She didn't even look at him as she spoke. "Kirk, I don't have time for this." But Kirk was determined. He had to make her understand. "I know I messed up," he said, his voice rising, "but I can't just let you walk away." Rasheeda finally looked up at him. "I don't need you to prove anything to me, Kirk," she said, her voice steady. "Because the truth is, I don't have to hold on to something that's already broken." Those words hit Kirk like a punch to the stomach. He wasn't ready to accept this. Not yet. "I just can't let you go, Rasheeda," he said, his voice shaking. I need you to understand. I can change. But Rasheeda was done. I don't expect you to understand, she said, her voice cold. You never have. But now I'm done. Kirk stood there, stunned, as Rasheeda's words sank in. She'd finally given up, and for the first time, he realized he had no control over the situation. The fight was over, and Rasheeda had already made her decision. The only thing left for Kirk to do now was to accept it, but he wasn't ready. Not yet, but the more Rasheeda spoke, the more he understood. I'm done, Kirk, she said, her voice final. You threw it away a long time ago. Now it's my turn to stop caring. Kirk didn't respond. He just stood there, frozen. There was nothing he could say, nothing he could do. He had lost her, for good.